Welcome back to the Nigerian Symposium for Young and Emerging Leaders.
The conversation about Nigeria at 60 continues with Farida Abiola, Honorable Babajide Balogun, and Honorable Afiz Tau next on Rubbin Mind.
The educational system is plagued by strikes and strikes. Failure of the government to fulfill promises, bringing the fight of the academic body and governments to a yearly or a biannual duel. How can this be dealt with? Can both parties reach a resolution, or are any of the parties being unreasonable?
Okay, I think greed is what is eating the both parties. Nobody wants to come to a compromise. The government doesn't want to come to a compromise. The educational sector doesn't want to come to a compromise. Forgetting that they are actually affecting not just the students, they're affecting themselves. They both need to come to a level ground for the goodness of the nation. If they actually have anything good to offer the nation, they both need to come to a common ground. They're both being very selfish right now.
In the 60 years that Nigeria has been, the youths, how would you be able to grade the youth's involvement in its growth? Have they been significant to a said growth, or have they been, would I say, more of an effect of stagnation due to their lack of not always participating in elections and just complaining after, and sometimes contributing to the violence?
So what I'm going to say is this. So I think in the last election, quite a number of youth came out to participate. But the situation on ground is not that the youth are not coming out to participate. It's just that the people who are there do not want to leave. And that's a very, very big problem. The youth have to come together and decide that this is what they want. And like I said again, poverty, or let's say lack of, a lot of youth are not really, I wouldn't say they are not ready to work, but it's not about working a 9-to-5 job. A lot of youth want to create job, but they will say they don't have funds to get this thing done. And the government, in a way, is not helping. I don't think it's really much more on the government. The government will only do their own. But the youth that we're talking about have to come out in a way to come out and participate. Because if you don't come out and contest or come in for a position, there's no way somebody will come out to speak for you. Because the people there would rather be speaking for their own children, not you as a youth. And the problem again is this: we, the youth, are our own major problems. Why I say this is this: as a youth, you guys decide to come out to do something. At the end of the day, somebody else will join the ones there and get something off them and come back and sell the fellow youth. So I think what I believe we should do is this: let's come together and let's just agree and say this is what we want. We have countries whereby Minister of Youth is 33 years old. We have countries whereby their Prime Minister, they are quite young people and they are doing great things. Why can't we be like that? We're going to be in the diamond age, which is 60 years. Anybody who is 60 years is almost getting to, the typical age of African is, almost like 60 or thereabouts. So if we as youth can't come out and speak, nobody will speak for us.
Honorable, as Nigeria is going to be 60, and we know part of the things that helps a nation grow are the policies that are implemented. As it is, you are a member of the House and you are part of the significant people that spearhead policies and implementations. What does it take for a policy to be brought to the floor as well up until implementation?
Well, I can tell you the duty of National Assembly is to formulate laws. But it is the duty of the executive to implement the laws. If you go back history, right from during the military to the current democratic dispensation, Nigeria has one of the best policies in the world. But where the problem lies is in the implementation. And the steps you take in introducing a bill is there are 3 stages. The first reading, second reading, and of course, the third reading, which is the final reading, that bill or that law will be passed and it will be transmitted to Mr. President for presidential assent. And in the first reading, the title of the bill or the title of the law will be read by the Speaker. In the second reading, that's where they will debate on the advantages, disadvantages of that bill, and members will be given the opportunity to contribute, to debate on the general principle of that bill. Then the third, it will then be passed to the relevant standing committee. Example, I'm bringing a bill that has to do with education. Maybe I want to set up a university in my constituency. After that second reading, it will be channeled to the Committee on Tertiary Institutions. That committee will call for a public hearing, invite people to come and debate also, or giving their own bits about that particular bill. Then from there, it will be brought back to the House, whereby the House will look at it, then it will be passed. From there, if there is a need for concurrence, since it's a bicameral legislature, it will be sent to the Senate for concurrence on that bill before the bill it is being forwarded to Mr. President for assent. As I said earlier, in terms of policies, if you remember, we had once Vision 2010, Vision 2020, a lot of good documents that if you look at them, you would think by now Nigeria is like a Dubai. But because of implementation, and we have inconsistencies in terms of continuation of these policies. In the last administration, they will bring maybe some policies. If another administration comes, they will jettison that policy and keep them and try to introduce another policy, no matter how good that policy is. But I can give it to this current administration, not because I'm a member of the administration or the same party with Mr. President. Mr. President has tried to complete some of the projects or policies that he inherited. He has tried to complete, even without even introducing new ones. In the last 4 years, all this government were busy doing was to continue abandoned projects and some policies. So I think the major problem is we should look at the implementation. If a lot of policies have been implemented, we'll not be where we are today. Because as people have been saying, Nigeria is a country that has been blessed. But at the same time, some people are saying that we have been cursed.
Honorable, in order for this change to be sped up, would you agree to a policy that says that all public workers, all elites, all the politicians' children, every single one of them should go to a public school?
I agree 100%. Because
So why can't we pass the policy?
if you do that, we will make sure that these schools are better.
Are now better. So if we're to get that, do you think there should be a collective voice from the masses, from the people?
No. If not to
push for it.
Yeah, the masses, the people that are being governed, they are the ones that should speak up, say this is what we want. Because after 4 years, we'll still go back to them and ask for their votes. And it's like a scorecard that, okay, when you came campaigning in 2019, you promised A, B, C, D. So we're here, what have you done for us? So if that's what they want, they should channel it as a bill. We pass the bill, make it a law, so that tomorrow, like example now, look at what has been happening since the corona pandemic came. Nobody was going, health tourism totally reduced. Nobody was flying abroad. But before, somebody feeling headache, we just travel abroad. Somebody in my constituency, I have a teaching hospital. If you go and see the number of people coming from neighboring states to that particular teaching hospital, you'll be surprised. So I think I keep telling people why people are not seeing the change now, because of the decay in the system. You can destroy a house in 1 day, but you cannot build the house in a day. It takes a process, it takes time. Because of the old method we are using, that's why people are not feeling or people are not seeing the desired changes. And people just believe that they should just close their eyes and open and see things have totally changed. It's not possible. We are always blaming our leaders. We are the people that are being governed. Have we changed our attitudes? So I think these are some of the issues that they're enormous. Yeah, because nation building is a joint task.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Thank you very much, Farida. Thank you very much, Babajide. And with this, we come to a conclusion of the Nigerian Symposium for Young and Emerging Leaders. We have spoken about various topics, and I'm sure you definitely have been educated as regards the policies, the mindset, and the ideologies that these very distinguished guests have had and have brought to the table for every single one of you. Thank you very much for viewing this, and we'll hope to see you again next time. Goodbye. I'm your host, Shea Olo. Goodbye.